Every director ever has inspiration that they use consciously when filming. It's no secret that Damien Chazelle's largest influence is the wonderful 1952 musical Singing in the Rain. His influence is evident in both La La Land and Babylon, but since there are already so many videos about La La Land, I thought I'd make one about Babylon because I love it as well, and I think that his allusions to Singing in the Rain are more prominent and ubiquitous in this 3-hour crazy extravagant Hollywood drugs and sex party. So I'll be pointing out some of the similarities I found and how I think Chazelle as a director successfully pays tribute to his influences and how we as directors and writers can learn from it. So firstly, the whole context of the film. Both Babylon and Singing in the Rain centers around the 1920s Hollywood shift from silent films to talkies where they use sound, rendering some actors obsolete, like Jack Conrad and arguably Nelly Leroy, like Don Lockwood and Lena Lamont. Babylon is the dark side of the 1920s shift, as Jack Conrad doesn't manage to adjust like Don Lockwood does, and ends up committing suicide at the death of his career. Singing in the Rain shows the passion, the fun, the excitement of Hollywood in the 1920s, while Babylon shows both sides, including the drug abuse, obsession, and racism, and all that made it 3 hours long. The characters of Babylon are also largely based on the characters of Singing in the Rain. Again, Jack Conrad is based on Don Lockwood, but with the tragic alternative ending. Like Lockwood, he's the big superstar of the Hollywood silent film era who failed to transition to talkies, as during the premiere of the film, with the ambitious lines, "I love you, I love you, I love you,"
I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
The crowd starts laughing. Though Lockwood saves himself with a musical and a Hollywood happy ending, but Conrad takes a different route, being suicide, as he can't adjust and doesn't want to do the Singing in the Rain musical for some reason. Nelly Leroy, based on Lena Lamont, shares many similarities.
She is lovely and very talented.
However, Nelly is not the antagonist, yet she has severe issues stemming from her childhood, but in a way we empathize with her. We understand what she's gone through and why she acts the way we does, and we're cheering her on. She's a complex and exciting character who we can't help but love. And of course, this is also because Margot Robbie steals the scene in literally every single scene she's in, no matter how much is going in the background. But let's talk about specific similarities. So first, obviously their names, Leroy and Lamont. Clearly this is an allusion to Lamont. During the shift to sound, Nelly also struggles with the mic and the mic placement, and so she's chewed and spit out by Hollywood in the blink of an eye.
Here's the mic, right here in the bush.
But since her story doesn't stem from privilege, we still empathize with her. One of her main issues besides the microphone placement is with her voice. She sounds like where she's from, which isn't really what the Hollywood films were going for. She felt a little too poor, a little too from the wrong side of the tracks. So again, we have a scene where Nelly, like Lena, tries to perfect her voice.
The fellow to whom you are speaking.
Who is the fellow?
Though Lena, she has this crazy voice even though she comes from privilege.
And I can't stand him.
And I can't stand him.
Additionally, there's even a direct allusion when Manny directs Nelly and she's wearing the exact costume that Lamont was wearing, which is just stunning. I love how inspired Chazelle is, and he just oozes with passion, and this is such a just wholesome tribute. There is one specific reference when Nelly is becoming the new favorite on set, where the previous favorite gets very pissed off that Nelly is completely stealing her spotlight, and then she threatens the company as she comes from a place of privilege.
I get the close-up. This is my money. My company's riding the jets.
I think here Nelly plays the underdog while her competitor is more of a Lena Lamont. So as the audience, we cheer for Nelly as we feel for her and we start to fall in love with her a little bit more. We just want to see her succeed and prove everyone wrong. Sorry, there is a screaming baby next door. But I think that the clear reference to Singing in the Rain, the joyful and utopian musical number, creates a very eerie juxtaposition to the dark content of this film. It feels so off, the people look a bit scary, and the color grading is dark, the makeup just doesn't feel right. And this juxtaposition connects to how, below the dreamy and heavenly Hollywood life, lies the hell of drug addiction, suicide, exploitation. And again, the contrast just provides the perfect emphasis and tells us exactly what Chazelle is going for with this film. Chazelle also puts the actual film into the end montage to make it extra clear what this film is inspired by. And it just ties everything together. Manny sits in wonder and awe at the beauty of it, the beauty of cinema, despite the hell that was going on underneath. And I can just see Chazelle in this seat. I just love how much he loves cinema and especially loves this film. And he's like a little film student or film nerd going on about how great it is. You know, it's so recognizable. And Babylon is just a great film which pays perfect tribute, I think. And if you have 3 hours to spare, I highly recommend you watch this film because it will take you on a ride, be completely gone for 3 hours. I love that Chazelle took a big risk no matter how it turned out. And of course, watch Singing in the Rain if you haven't, and if you're even mildly interested in film, you have to watch it. Although this wasn't a very intellectual video essay, I thought it'd still be fun to share the similarities and references I found. And I've actually just moved into my first apartment, so now I'm completely alone until my roommates come, who are also film nerds. But I'll have a lot more time to make video essays. And if you have any recommendations of films you think I should watch, I'm very down for that as well. So I hope you guys all enjoy and stay tuned.